That made me nervous. Yeah. Tuesday. A bit late, mate.
Sure.
Love your work. Hey, how's it going?
You're good, mate.
Oh, Tuesday.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, I know, thanks very much. I don't really need to be nervous. I just found out that it's going to be part of a documentary too.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, we're making a documentary for the History Channel.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's excellent.
So the night that this bit's on, I'm going to jam the sunlight so no one can give me up for
So
a
you've
car.
done a whole episode, half an episode of Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. The memorial's last post ceremony will begin in a few minutes, once visitors have arrived in the commemorative area from the galleries. The commemorative cards on wreaths and floral tributes will be catalogued and archived by the memorial and kept in perpetuity. The service will be broadcast live via webcam onto the War Memorial's website. Feel free to take photographs or film the service, and we encourage you to post your photos on the memorial's Facebook page or Flickr. To maintain the dignity of the service, we ask that visitors be respectful and quiet throughout the ceremony. In particular, please remain still during the reading and whilst the bugler plays the last post. Where appropriate, we ask that visitors remove their hats for the national anthem, the reading of the ode and during the last post. We would also appreciate it if parents could closely supervise small children. Should you have a mobile phone, we ask that you turn it to silent. And finally, for your safety and that of others, we ask that you do not sit on the stonework or the ledges. Thank you. We'll start in a few moments. My name is Meredith Duncan, and joining me from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 2 Darren Jakobi. We welcome the veterans who have served, those who are still serving, and the families who support them. Today, we warmly welcome the family of Captain Alfred John Shout, VC, MC, whose story will be read shortly. Family will be laying tributes at the base of the Pool of Reflection. We also acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association and RSL Victoria who are watching the broadcast of the ceremony around Australia. This evening we're also joined by visitors and students who will be laying wreaths on behalf of the following schools: Corindi Public School, Corindi, New South Wales; Austin Cove Baptist College, South Yundara, Western Australia; and Mandurah Baptist College, Mandurah, Western Australia. Will you please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops at Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea for this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families, friends, and Australians could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and other operations over more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths and floral tributes will now be placed at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Captain Alfred John Shout, VC-MC. Shout was born on the 8th of August 1882 in Wellington, New Zealand to John and Agnes Shout. He was the eldest of 9 children and the only boy. In 1900, he joined a New Zealand Army contingent bound for service in South Africa. Upon arrival in Cape Town, he joined the newly raised Border Horse Unit. He saw extensive service with this unit and over the next year was promoted to sergeant. He was also wounded twice and mentioned in dispatches for his leadership and bravery under fire. The unit disbanded in May 1901 and Shout went on to serve in several other units. When the war ended in 1902, Shout remained in South Africa. He joined the South African Army in 1903 and served as a sergeant with Prince Alfred's own Cape Field Artillery. During this time, Shout met an Australian woman, Rose Alice Howe. They married in Cape Town in early 1905 and the couple's daughter was born in June. The Shout family emigrated to Australia that year, settling in the Sydney suburb of Darlington. Shout found work as a carpenter and joiner and also joined the Citizens Forces 29th Infantry Regiment, gaining a reputation as a fine rifle shot and excellent leader. At the outbreak of the First World War, Shout applied for a commission in the AIF and was accepted as a second lieutenant in the 1st Battalion. In October, he embarked with the battalion aboard the transport ship Alfred, arriving in Egypt in December. In February, Shout was promoted to lieutenant. On the 25th of April, Shout went ashore as part of the second wave of troops on Gallipoli and distinguished himself by his bravery and leadership. 2 days later, at Walker's Ridge, Shout was involved in holding off determined Turkish counterattacks. He had been wounded earlier in the day, but remained on duty. On being wounded twice more, he had to be forced to leave the front line. For his actions, he was awarded a Military Cross. He was wounded again in May and was mentioned in General Sir Ian Hamilton's dispatches. In July, Shout was promoted to captain. Shout was prominent in several attacks during the Battle of Lone Pine. In the afternoon of the 9th of August, after leading attacks all morning, Shout led a small party of men down a length of trench held by the Turks, forcing them to retreat. In the last rush, he lit 3 bombs. He managed to throw 2, but the third exploded prematurely, blowing off a hand and wounding him in the face and body. He was still cheerful and encouraging his men as he was being taken away from the front line. He was transported to the hospital ship Euralia, where he succumbed to his injuries on the 11th of August and was buried at sea. Shout was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross for his actions at Lone Pine. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, along with around 60,000 others from the First World War, and his photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of many stories of courage and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Captain Alfred John Shout, BC, MC, and all those Australians who have given their lives in the service of their country. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bede. Many a man lying out there at Cosier or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. Thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial, and I wish you a very good evening.
Sorry about Alice. I proved over Alice. Like I've refused that since like I got the reading, the final draft of the reading last night. And the day on the day, I've tripped over Alice every time. I don't know what, she's Agnes, she's anything else with an A except Alice. Not a
Just come and stand in the draft, get a picture over there, and that's the last one I'm going to do again.
No, it was a
I still like that.
Oh, yeah, but I
done a
know.
lot of really cool things in 28 years, but this is way up there. No, I'm over at Patronise Farm.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I work in network operations. So, yeah, one of the good things about being a shift worker is I get plenty of time off. So,
What's an engagement?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And yeah, they're not going to Cheers, Brandon.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
It's your very own documentary photographer.
Hey, well, my own film crew. Cheers, Doug. Thanks very much. Oh, I wasn't very nervous. Just a waft. Your photo box.
Okay, big surprise! My nose is really